my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to One Yard Wednesday. Hi everyone, and thank you for being here with us on our show where we show you some fantastic fabrics, give you great ideas on how to use them, and they are all available for some amazing prices. Say hello to Mr. HP. He's my producer today. Thank you for being here. Again, thank you all for watching. And if you do know somebody that would appreciate some great deals on fabric, make sure you share where you are watching and share our page. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our page on Facebook if that's where you prefer to watch. Now, we love comments. And so make sure you comment throughout the show, ask questions. Just know that our sale prices on these fabrics will not be activated until after the show. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We've got a great one for you today. So how are you doing, Mr. HP?
Oh, not too shabby.
Pretty good?
Not too shabby, I must say.
Yes. Now, of course, I always have to mention, too, some of these fabrics are very limited quantities, so make sure you act fast after the show is over. So, very exciting. One Yard Wednesday. This show is number 100. This is our 100th One Yard Wednesday show, and thanks to all of you that have been so loyal in watching and snatching up these great deals. And we hope to keep bringing that to you every week. So, yay! Yay, 100 shows. So let's take a look at our quilts that we have on the set today. Behind me, I have Strip Twist. It's actually the 2.0 version that I created and was a part of our strip along, I believe, 2 years ago. So that is one behind me. Behind you today, Mr. HP, is another pattern. This one is from a book. It is Ingrid, yes. And I'll explain a little bit more why I chose these two, and it's all based on our fabrics today. But I have a question. Now today I have a few exciting ombre fabrics for you. So my question is, have you worked with ombre fabrics before? I'm going to give you some tips as we show it. So let's move on to our featured fabrics. Our featured fabrics, we're going to have two lines today. I chose them together because they really do work together. So they could be mixed. Of course, these are great fabrics to be mixed with anything else. So first off, the first line we're working with is called Ombre by P&B Fabrics. And then the second line is our Jewel Box by Patrick Lowe's designer, which is manufactured by Northcott Fabrics. So let's take a look at our first one. This is one of the ombres. So we have 5 different ombres, and this is a P&B ombre. So I want to show you now ombre fabrics. What we mean by that is they have a gradation in color, sometimes in the print itself, going from one color from the selvage into another color, and sometimes it repeats on the other side. This one is very unique because the ombre is very subtle. Sometimes it's very harsh, and so which is fun to use because you have really a lot of different shades in the fabrics. But this one is very subtle. So it is kind of like, when I saw this from a distance, I thought this was yarn dyes because it looks like it is like a woven, thread woven piece of fabric. But it is printed, and so we start off with these layers of this color in different hues of it. It goes into a little bit darker and then medium and repeats on the other side. So very subtle, and I think that's really fantastic because it gives you some other different opportunities to work with this fabric, with this type of ombre. So this one is called Ombre Light Blue. And so our second color is called Ombre Violet. So beautiful tone of violet. And as you can see, same thing, it starts off almost light pink with a lot of blue in it, and then it gets a little bit more of the violet and tones down, back down on the other side. So violet is our second color of the ombre. Our third one is called yellow, ombre yellow. This is a beautiful, bright, sunny yellow. Starts off really calm, has a little bit of that orange feel here in the middle. This would be perfect for any kind of sunset. And then we tone down on the other side. And speaking of orange, we have ombre orange. Beautiful tone. Look how subtle that is. So this would be great for a background of a sunset, something like that. You can use it as a whole, but I'm also going to give you some ideas on how you can use this separately. Now, the beautiful thing with a subtle ombre like this is that you can cut it up and use it as a background. So what it's going to do is not going to give you that harsh line when you have a really sharp ombre. When you piece it all together, you could use it as a background. And you just have, when you see it throughout all your quilt, your whole quilt, you'll just see this little variation in color, which is going to give your quilt a great depth. Now, our last ombre is called fuchsia, and this is a gorgeous color, kind of orangey red down here, and then we have more of the purple coming over on the middle, and then repeating down on the other side. So it's very red in the middle, and then kind of reddish orange on the ends, has a little purple hue down the center. So these are our 5 ombres, and like I said, there's great opportunities to work with these. I love cutting ombre into strips because you have the variation along the strip, so any kind of strip quilts, which is why I had my strip twist up here. So if you imagine the 4 units in the strip twist block, you will get different shades of it, so there will be a lot of movement within each block. Second pattern, which is called Jewel Box. And this basic is by Patrick Lowe's. He has very unique and just an amazing knack for color. Now, what I love about this basic is the little dots. There's little dots within the bigger dots. They're different colors, so there's a lot of movement. And still yet being a base color, like one color. So this color is called just jet black, which refers to the base tone of it, and then has all these layers of gray on top of it. So these could be used as backgrounds where a background could really use some fun movement. For example, the Ingrid quilt, very similar to what I used for the Ingrid quilt behind Mr. HP today. Our second color is called Dark Amber, and this is beautiful. So we have a chocolate brown base and then all these hues of gold and orange in the circles. And so just like the name says, Dark Amber really reads that. Beautiful. Then we have Purple Garnet. This is beautiful, like an amethyst plum-y background, and then we have lighter tones on top, a little bit of lavender, a little bit of garnet, a little bit of pink, and it just creates a great movement. Next one up is called Jewel Box Cinnabar. So this is almost like a burgundy, deep burgundy in the base. And then it has all these red hues, variation in hue, and then down to the pink. So even though there's a lot of different hues in each print, it will still work great as a solid background or anything else. Next color is called Ruby. So we have a beautifully warm red base, and then all these tones of brighter red, orange, and down to almost like a peachy cream on top. Next up is Sterling. Now this is a gray, but it has just a slight greenish or almost a aqua hue to it, so a little bit bluish green hue to it. It's very pretty, a really pretty tone of gray, and I can see this working really well as a background. Now this one might be one of my favorites. This one is called Orange Topaz. If you haven't noticed, they're all named after gemstones. So beautiful teal in the background, and then we have some of that bright red, orange, and more amber colors in the circles. Just gorgeous. We have a couple of more. We have a gorgeous green. This is called emerald, of course. So deep emerald green in the circles down to lime green, and then that really dark forest green in the background. So pretty. And last but not least, we have teal amethyst. So a really beautiful teal, and then we have kind of like this magenta, a little bit of plum, some sea glass color, turquoise on top, and this is really beautiful. This is also competing for one of my favorites. Although, as you can see all together, how gorgeous are they all? So these are our fabrics, but I also got a notion. Now, my notion for today is the wonderful GE Stripology case. Why? I just came off of 2 back-to-back quilting cruises. I was able to pack my case with everything I needed. I did not travel by air this time, but as you know, I have checked mine multiple times. But what I love about it is I could pack everything in there, including all my rulers, my cutting mats. I had a couple of extra cutting mats. I had my wool mat for ironing. I had my fabrics, my step outs, even my little stand that I put my fabric in. Everything fit in there perfectly. Traveled there so nicely. Just left it at the port for them to bring to the classroom, and it worked out so well. Before, I don't even know how I did that. Everything was in a big suitcase, kind of scattered all over, so this was fantastic. What was great to see too was that a lot of our cruisers had one and brought everything with them in one place. So the GE Stripology quilting case is a game changer when you want to travel somewhere and quilt. Now I want to talk a little bit about these fabrics again. So these gorgeous fabrics, and give you some ideas. Now the quilt behind me, of course, the strip twist, this would be a beautiful color to use, and even either one of them would work really great as the background if you do this 2.0 version. But I also have the Mixology 3 book, so the Ingrid quilt that you see behind Mr. HP. Do you want to show them again, that quilt behind you on a bigger scale? There it is. And I absolutely love, so what I did use, you can see it now, there's that background is a black, I'm trying to find it now here in my book, here it is. That black has a little bit of a texture. So you could definitely use any of these as a background for an Ingrid, but also the strips and the squares part, these could definitely work well for that, because they would have a little bit of variety within each block, but still be that one color. So I think it works really both ways for this one. The second one that I wanted to point out in here that would be great, I mean, a lot of the quilts would be great, but on we have the strippy stairways, also great for just 2.5-inch strips. But this background too, I had a little bit of a busier background, so a little patterned background. So any of the ombres would work great. Any of the jewel box would work great. So then I wanted to show you, we have the strip twist, of course, behind me, but I have another pattern suggestion. This aria is the pattern that we were sewing on the cruise. And even though you look at this and you might not think, well, these fabrics would not work for that, I want to show you a couple of examples. One of the fabrics we used for the cruise kits was soliloquy, and so all of these really colorful fabrics, and just look how they turn out when they're all put together. This is Johanna's quilt, and it just turned out amazing. So you can see how the colors just play. You could definitely do the same with some of these fabrics. And then let's look at Rena's quilt. So Rena, what she did, she had equal number of a really light fabric and then her darker fabric. So there is in each block that version of a white, but notice that they're not all the same. So I want you to think about this version and bring in a neutral, whether it's a white or whether it's another color. It can be a multitude, a scrappy version of that. But can you imagine all the other dark circles being these amazing jewel box fabrics? That would just create such a fun and vibrant quilt. So just some great ideas for you. So those are our fabrics today. Should we go through them real quick? And the colors, Mr. HP?
Let's do it.
We'll start here with our ombre light blue. And like I said, the ombres are by P&B Fabrics. We have ombre in the violet, ombre yellow, and this is ombre orange. And then we have ombre in the fuchsia. 5 different ombres. And then for our jewel box, made by Northcott, designed by Patrick Lowe's, we have the jet black. We have the dark amber, the purple garnet, and the beautiful cinnabar. We have jewel box ruby, and then jewel box sterling, beautiful gray. Jewel box orange topaz, really pretty teal. The emerald, so vibrant. And finally, the teal amethyst. Gorgeous, gorgeous prints. Now, finally, I just want to talk about a few things that are happening at GE this week. It seems like this is a week of birthdays at GE. Actually, the next 2 weeks, I think 5 of our team members have birthdays.
Lots of birthdays.
So happy birthday to Karn this last weekend. And today, happy birthday, Kobe, or Mr. KP, as you mostly know him as. And then Friday is Mr. GP's birthday. Yes, they are 2 days apart. So following that will be birthdays of our COO Otley and Michael that you got to meet on the Friday show. So happy birthday, everybody, and to all of you that have birthdays in January. I know January birthdays can be tough because they are following the holidays, but still a happy birthday to everybody. Some other things, I want to make sure that you watched our Tipsy Tuesday show last night. We had all about the Jolie Quilt Along coming up and a real special going on. So check that out. It is available now. The pattern, you can either purchase it for $9.95, which is special going on through February 8th, or you can get it free with any $50 purchase. And of course, our One Yard Wednesday purchases count towards that. You can see, once you purchase the pattern, you can see all the schedule, how things are gonna go down, and when you're gonna receive your videos, and go back and watch the show. We talked a lot about all the different details for the Jolie Quilt Along. But I will be back here on Friday, January 24th at 12 p.m. And Friday's show, I will be revealing our Color Club selection for January. So that's it for us today. Make sure you make something great. Get some time to quilt. It is cold everywhere in the United States and possibly in other places around the world. Stay in and quilt. That is my advice. That is what I'm going to do. Again, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Say hi and bye to Mr. HP, my producer, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.